Welcome to 100 Proof Radio with Jay Wesley, your weekly journey into examining your spirit choices and social etiquette in different settings. Do you know the written and unspoken rules about ordering and consuming alcohol during a night out on the town with your friends, at office holiday parties, or when hosting at home? Well, pour your favorite drink and get ready for an unfiltered, enlightening, and comfortable ride. Sip back and relax. And welcome to 100 Proof Radio with Jay Wesley.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the 37th episode of 100 Proof at our new home of Rolling Out. Today's topic is cocktails and beauty. Does your sip give you swag? Hashtag drinkable fashion. So tonight we're going to explore how alcohol may impact your confidence, your swag, or not. Two of life's greatest pleasures is good liquor and beautiful fashion. Have long enjoyed a collaborative relationship together that most don't even realize. Many liquor bottles can be very striking to the eye. Liquor bottles have been created from the iconic Andy Warhol for Absolut Vodka to the controversial Jeff Kong for Don Perignon, have both taken the paintbrush to the bottle with beautiful results. Cognac Hennessy X.O recently collaborated with its Sydney designer Marc Newson to reimagine the classic glass decanter. Oftentimes, when people are under the influence of alcohol, they become more confident. Is this a truth or a myth for you? Be sure to tune in and tell us what you think. We will have a candid, fun, and mature conversation to learn if alcohol make you walk with a swag, with your chin up and your shoulders back, or does it have the opposite effect and make you look beat in a bad way? We will also explore the collaboration between fashion and booze to determine why more fashion designers are being tapped to design liquor bottles, in addition to fashion designers creating their own liquor brands, such as Diesel launching Sky Vodka. Lastly, we will discuss whether or not fashion designers are inspired by the use of alcohol to become more creative and innovative with their design. We have a great lineup for you tonight, starting with my first guest, Miss Dion Fraser Carter from my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent. So what do you think about this topic?
Well, I think that it is definitely a controversial topic.
They say
Alcohol.
all my topics are controversial. I got people hating on me out there.
No. But I think when it comes to fashion and alcohol, there's always been a relationship, there. From the, designing, some artists, sometimes they use alcohol to enhance their creativity, help them stay up, during the design process. Me personally, that's not really a part of my process. However, I definitely enjoy the libations during time of celebration, runway shows, when I'm finished working on a piece, usually if I'm
Yes.
consulting with clients, that sort of thing. But I think it's just gone hand in hand. As far as design, you just talked about the shapes of a lot of alcohol bottles, and a lot of them resemble
And
the
the
beautiful shape
labels.
of the woman,
Yes.
and so most of the designs are very sleek, very feminine, very smooth, and so, you think about enjoyment, you think about beauty, you think about celebration.
Right.
Hmm.
So tell people a little bit about yourself. Let's do a quick introduction of who
Okay.
you are.
Well, my name is Dion Fraser Carter. I'm actually originally from Guyana, South America. I've been in the
Never knew
States.
that.
Yes, I've
Okay.
been in the States for a long time, my whole entire family. So I'm a little tired because this was Atlanta's Caribbean weekend, so
Right,
it was a
right,
lot
right.
going on. But yeah, so we met actually in Chicago, and it was in Chicago that I launched my design line called Do Original Wearable Art.
Absolutely. And that's
Hmm.
where we've kind of ran into each other on the fashion scene. But hold that thought. We're going to learn more about Dion after this break. And we are going to go to our 1 minute sip. So if you don't have your drink, go get your drink so you can sip with us. And I'm going to introduce you to Selena of Shop Liquid Loud.
How you doing tonight? I'm good.
So what do you have for us tonight?
So I have my product made by me. I have a mango madness that's pre-mixed. It's rum based. I'll give you guys a sip so you can try it out. You guys can also follow my Instagram and Facebook at Shop Liquid Loud. We also have a web store that we're working on, and it's called shopliquidloud.ecwit.com. So if you guys you want to taste this drink for me tonight?
Yes, we do. We're
Hmm.
already
I've
sipping on
already
it.
been sipping.
I want you guys to sip this as well.
Okay.
See how you like it. Also, you guys can reach me at 678-661-LOUD. 678-661-LOUD. So here you go,
All right.
guys. This is the drink I first started off with. This is my Mango Madness. This is what prompted me into everything. So, I mean, I hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. How
I
you
love
like
it.
it?
Yeah, that's really nice.
Shop Liquid Loud, guys. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
So what inspired this?
Well, I was at the bar and people kept telling me that I make some good drinks and I needed to sell my drinks.
And so you've been a bartender. How long have you been a
Uh,
bartender?
it'll be 10 years in January.
Okay. Any places that we may have known about that you've bartended at?
When I first started, I was at, it's now, I think, V Live. Back then
Okay.
it was called the Body Tap. I'm from Atlanta, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're born and raised here.
Born and raised.
And so how long have you had Liquid Loud?
It'll be 4 years. Yeah, 4 years in
4
January.
years. Okay. Excellent. So what do you think about this conversation tonight that we're having about cocktails and fashion?
I can definitely see that as yes. A lot of people when they drink, they get to thinking, and next thing you know, they come up with a crazy idea. Some good, some bad. But I mean, you can just see the creativeness going, and they'll play off the bartender. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'm like, yeah, maybe, maybe not. But it depends. It's all good. I'm here for the fun of it.
So have you, as at a bar, have you seen people when they drink that they become more confident, more
Oh.
cocky, more sexy?
Yes, that like it's like a transformation in front of your eyes. It's crazy. Like you give them that first cocktail, they look timid, and then next thing you know, they buying rounds for the bar, and you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
get your keys. Where you going?
Right.
Yeah, so but it's all in fun. It's all in
So
fun.
who gets more confident with their swagger, men or women?
Men.
Men, really.
Yes, I mean I'm a people watcher, so I will sit there and literally watch you. So you come in, 9 to 5, you getting off work, you might see a nice lady at the bar, you might have a couple of drinks and then you might send her a drink. That's when it starts with all in the sending of the drink. Next thing you know, you on one side, she's on the other, and then you closer to her. I just see it all the time. I mean, I think it's funny, but I like it.
All right, excellent. Well, we want you to stick around for part of this conversation because we may need some more of your expertise on this matter. So we are in the midst of our Shake It Up segment, and this is where we dig deep and go deep into the conversation. So, Dion, have you ever considered designing an alcohol-inspired outfit?
I've never really thought about it, but as an artist, as I'm growing and expanding, because I'm an artist first, not just a designer,
Right.
and so I build things. I just love to work with my hands. And so, it would be I'm sure I could come up with some pretty interesting interpretations.
So, just off the top of your head, if you had to design for an outfit for a liquor brand or company, is there one that comes to mind? Like, who would you want to design for or inspiration of?
Probably Moet,
Okay.
Moet Chandon. It's a classic brand, it's old school. It's been around, that was like the first, that was the
It's
original.
sexy.
Exactly,
It's champagne.
so yeah. Mhm.
Okay, and so before break, I promised to come back and let you finish introducing yourself. So, what type of designs do you create?
Well, I specialize in knitwear and crochet, fiber art. That's my specialty, but I do sew as well. So I work with tons of different fabrics, denim from to chiffon to everything in between. As well as when I crochet, I use more than just basic yarn. I work with leather. I work with ribbon. Sometimes I may cut fabric up and then crochet with that. So I just try to do just different unconventional ways of just creating just dope, unique, one of a
Dope.
kind.
I love it. And so you have a store that's opening up, but we'll talk about
Yes.
that
Okay.
later in one of our segments. So, do you think people become more confident and have more swag when they're under the influence of alcohol?
Well, I mean, I think it works a couple of different ways, and it just depends on the individual. I think when some people consume alcohol, it can make them very aggressive, you know, and make them feel like, the bravado comes out and they're, the macho, that. So when she said that, mostly she sees men, I can see that. I think for women, it kind of takes the edge off, So if there are inhibitions, women mostly during the daytime or just, pretty much they have to walk around, they have to maintain a certain persona or, try to do things right and just all of this stuff. But when they take a couple of sips of a great cocktail, oh baby,
Right, right.
she can let loose a little bit, let her hair down, she can relax a little bit. So, the walls are can come down, at that
Right.
point. Hmm.
So, as far as with a woman, is it possible that she could feel uncomfortable with what she's wearing? Uncomfortable because it's maybe showing too much cleavage than what she would normally wear, or maybe the dress is a little tighter than what she would normally wear, or shorter than what she would normally wear. Selena, do you think that the alcohol gives her the confidence to like and wear it and not just wear it but rock it?
Hmm.
Yes, I mean to the point where they like, whatever. This me.
Hmm.
This is what I got on. I don't care. My fat's coming out. I don't care. I'm gonna rock it.
Right.
And give me another cocktail while you at it.
Exactly. So, and what do you think about what she just said?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Sometimes, people have to tap into well, a lot of women, they have to tap into their alter ego, and I notice that sometimes when I design for clients, they'll sit and they have a special occasion and they want to show people a different side of them, then they'll get and they'll design something that's kind of out the box. And they have a couple cocktails when they go out, that'll make it all better. That'll give them that extra boost.
And you just touched on something very key is the at fittings. I noticed that designers are having alcohol part of the process. They're having champagne and
Yeah.
wine there.
Hmm.
What's that all about?
I think it is, just synonymous with opulence and, and elegance. I'm going to my designer to get something custom made. And so, as a designer, I tend to, I want to make them feel comfortable. Hopefully they're spending a lot of money. You know what
Right.
I mean? And it just, usually it just takes the
Does
edge
it help
off.
to make them
Yeah, a lot of
spend and
times because it,
make the
they
purchase?
can, because when you have to be free in the creative process. Freedom is the number one ingredient, And so when you're creating something, you have to be able to think and, allow your mind to travel,
All right.
to and use your imagination, And sometimes, most people, they're kind of rigid, if you will. And so the alcohol just kind of helps them to relax and helps them to just, go there and think about things that they may have not, taken a look at before. Yeah.
So, if you had to design a label or a bottle for someone, do you have an idea of what that bottle would look like? Being a fashion designer, anything comes to mind? And let's stick with Moet Champagne unless you want to switch it
Hmm.
up. How would that bottle look?
For me, I think that again, when I think about champagne bottles, I think about beauty and elegance and richness and and opulence, and so that's reminds me of a queen, of a woman's body, her shape. So I would probably do more of an hourglass, shape.
All right.
And, starting small at the neck, accentuating out, coming in at the waist, and then going back out again,
Interesting. Why do you think these liquor companies are tapping designers to design their bottles and/or their labels?
Well, I think for that reason that, most designers, true designers, they're, just creative geniuses, and they just allow they see things differently, than the average person. And I think that that freedom, that they're trying to sell, if you will, to give people that confidence to be who they are, allow that inner person to come out, with the alcohol, of course. I think that they turn to designers to get that one of a kind and that unique, out the box kind of thought process, that they bring to design.
So do you use alcohol, or have you used alcohol to unlock your creative flow, to get those juices of innovation moving along?
I mean, sometimes I have, but generally, that's not really a part of my process. Again, I, definitely like to relax and be in my environment. But, for me, my creative process usually includes some good hip hop, some nice reggae, some incense burning, and just me, figuring out a way to catch a vibe to just go. And I generally tend to have a drink when I'm finished.
All right. So for those that's out there watching, we have our Cause and a Stir segment coming up next in about 10 minutes. So be sure to chime in at Rolling Out Facebook page and ask your questions there. So we see Anthony Chappelle. We see you watching. We see you, Darnell Morgan, my homie Dion Corley, Christy Thomas. So we want to thank all of you all for tuning in, but we want to hear from you to see if alcohol give you more confidence and give you more swag. So what is your drink of choice, Dion?
I love champagne.
Okay.
And a nice glass of wine.
So you appreciate this mimosa bill that was passed in Atlanta that
Yeah.
allow us to purchase liquor
Yeah.
an hour earlier on Sundays.
hmm
So do you like mimosas? Is that your thing, or you just like champagne straight?
Yeah, I mean, I like it all different ways, and I love when mixologists aren't afraid to use champagne in a cocktail,
Right.
because it just provides that extra little, the bubbles, they're everything. So,
All right.
yeah.
And so how are you enjoying your drink tonight here?
Oh, it's really good. I really like the, well, I started off with the peach, but then I switched the mango. It's really, really good.
So
It's
that's
very smooth.
Liquid Loud.
And
here
again, I
local.
said I'm originally from Guyana, so anything with mango, has my approval.
So do you drink any like Ghana beverages?
Oh, Guyanese. Well,
'Cause
Guyanese.
when I was at one of your parties, you made it was a hibiscus.
Yeah, it was sorrel. It's called like sorrel drink, but yes, and essentially that's what it is.
So for those people that don't know what sorrows is, tell
It's
us what that's
just
all.
hibiscus, like the flowers, and you boil it. You boil the dried flowers in water, and then you strain it off. Well, usually you boil it with some clove and some ginger, and then you strain it off, and then you sweeten it, and you add water, and then it makes it drink. So it's like our Caribbean fruit punch.
So that I mean, it was good. I was taking it,
But
mixing
it's
it
great
with
with some vodka, right?
I was taking it with vodka. So,
Exactly.
how did you get your start in the fashion world? How long have you been doing it? And
Really, as long as I can remember, I was that little girl that used to cut up her clothes and they used to cut up her clothes, and I went to Catholic school, and so we were in uniform all the time. But I was the little girl that wore the loud colored tights, and
all right,
and just added my own little flavor to it. And never at that time during my teenage years, I still didn't really consider becoming a fashion designer. It was just something that I always, I expressed myself through fashion, as an artist. So went away to college and started, just meeting people, and, just it was a whole new world. And at the time, I had a group in college. I had a band, and one of my bandmates, his wife was a fashion designer, and I thought she was so dope. Oh, I was like, look, how can I be down? And it just so happened that that summer, my grandmother gave me this like encyclopedia books of crafts and like needlepoint and sewing and everything. And so I took half, and then I gave my girlfriend the other half, and really kind of retaught, because actually with crochet, my mother taught me when I was like 10, and I was a tomboy and I was not thinking
I
about
can
it
even see
at
it.
all. Yes. And so, but again, my girlfriend, when I met her, the designer, she wasn't really doing anything with her fashion. It was just all these dope clothes around. They had a loft in Detroit, everything.
Right.
And so she had a 3-year-old daughter. And the first thing I crocheted was some doll clothes for her daughter.
Mm.
And literally, it was a 3-piece set. I remember it was a pants, and it was a dress and a skirt. And I just thought, it occurred to me, if I can make the little ones, I can make the big ones.
Right.
And really, that's how it started.
And there it is. So
Hmm.
let's flip the conversation a little bit. Have you ever seen someone who is beat, and not in a good way, from
Yeah.
drinking too much alcohol? Any example,
Yeah,
anything you can?
yeah, all
What's
the
your thoughts on
time.
that?
Well, I mean, I would see just, speaking about the fashion world, fashion and entertainment, it's a very fast-paced lifestyle, and there's tons of alcohol flowing. And the thing is, celebrities, entertainers, they're on the go, and you can look models, when you're consuming a lot of alcohol, the number one thing that you must do is hydrate.
Yeah.
You have to drink water. So you can tell people what that are consuming, but they are not drinking enough water because it ages you if
Hmm.
you're not careful. So you
Hmm.
still have to live a balanced lifestyle. You can indulge, go hard, party hard, but you
Right.
also have to make sure that you're drinking your water, that you're exercising, you're getting enough rest, that sort of thing. So
So, do you think from this conversation, you would be inspired to try to do something alcohol related as far as an outfit from leaving here? Do you think you that will that sit on the top of your mind for a
well,
while?
as I was, just thinking about the show topic and just kind of preparing and reading some of the articles that you sent me, and some of those great designers, just they did, interpretations, so I would be interesting to challenge myself to see what I could come up with. Yeah.
And that was a good point, good segue, because we always do our stats and facts. And so, graffiti artist John Wan's design for Hennessy VS is a designer who's gotten into the game. The clean cut, timeless design is completely different to the Hennessy VS collaboration series with graffiti artists such as Shepard Fairey. John 1 is the latest artist to make over the bottle, injecting a big dose of color in urban pop culture. Another one we've talked about, touched on already, is for true art lovers, it's hard to look past Jeff Koons' legendary collaboration with Don Perignon, talking about champagne.
Hmm.
Koons' Balloon Venus, a balloon shaped chromium stainless steel sculpture piece, was based on an Australian artifact dating back to 23,000 BC. He created 5 smaller versions of the original to make this bottle of Dom Perignon. So it can be inspiring.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
mean, like you say, like you probably had never thought about it, but now you
Hmm.
can see a whole different niche and
Right.
angle
Yeah,
that you
absolutely.
can take your work
Yeah.
into. So
Hmm.
it's just interesting how all of this work. If why do people feel more confident when they're under alcohol? You think?
I think it just, I say alcohol removes all your inhibitions, so it's kind of like you don't care. You're not really, I'm going to say what I had to say, it's just a feeling of euphoria almost, so people are feeling good, or they're feeling like they can do anything.
So do you think that that's who they really are? That they truly are a confident person, or is it just the alcohol? They're not confident, and the alcohol turned them into, Superman or Superwoman.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on what your definition of confidence is. Me personally, I feel like confidence is freedom. Um, when you find people who are free, with themselves, they feel good, they know who they are, they're great in their own skin. Um, we recognize that as confidence, because the way they move, they hold their head up, they don't care who's watching, they're doing their thing.
So do you feel more confident when you are under the influence?
No, I just feel confident,
So
overall.
you're
so
confident
I'm
regardless.
Just a
So you
confident
know
person.
you sexy when you
Yeah.
put that gear on.
Well, I mean, and just like anybody, even the most confident people, have days where you're not feeling so hot, you don't feel
Right.
so fly. You know what I mean? And that's just a natural part of being a human being. I don't think anybody is just 100% confident all the time in every single situation, because people go into different situations where they're new, they don't know anybody, that sort of thing, and so you challenge, or you may wrestle with your confidence level, at that particular moment. But I think overall confidence, overall swag is just kind of like a natural component. I don't think that alcohol gives you swag or what have you. You know what I mean? If it's in there, it's in there. It might
Right.
be under a couple of layers, you know what I mean? But
because if you don't have it, alcohol wouldn't be able to bring it out.
absolutely,
So it has to be in there somewhere, but it's like peeling an onion
absolutely.
to get to it for some people. And some
Yeah.
people, like you say, don't need the alcohol. They got the swag. They have
Right.
the confidence
Exactly.
regardless. So, but you all, we want to hear from you. We have Cause and the Stir segment coming up in exactly 2 minutes. So be sure to go to Rolling Out's Facebook page and type your questions in there. We also want you to share this on your Facebook page, and we also want you to follow us on all social media at Cocktail Cron, the number 1. And so as we get prepared for our next sip break, we want you all to go and get your sip and sip with us. And today we are sipping Liquid Loud. And so we have Selena here in the room. Selena, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. So what are you going to be making for us next?
Okay, so I have
So I'm ready
my
for it.
killer kiwi. As you can see, I cut up the kiwi.
That looks good.
I think it is. This is why I brought it. So I'm gonna let you guys taste this. Just gonna pour it out the bottle.
And so where can people find your products?
They can go online at shopliquidloud.equid.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Shop Liquid Loud. And we also have a website coming up, and it's Shop Liquid Loud as well.
So do you, is this manufactured somewhere, or are you bottling it all yourself and shipping?
Right now,
How does that work?
it's myself. So I'm gonna, this is probably gonna be my next step. And also, we do set up at events and festivals, because that's where you met me at. And
Oh, this is wonderful.
yeah, that's
This
that
is
killer.
wonderful.
So
It
that's
really is.
That's a
Wow.
Quavo, so that's tequila base.
Okay.
So I have different bases.
Now,
you know
they say tequila make you sexy. Now, have you heard
right
that?
now.
Tequila, out of all the alcohols, is one of the ones that give people the most aroused.
I believe it.
You
I
know.
believe it, because a lot of people, I don't need tequila, not this early. I'm like, okay. 678-661-LOUD. If you have any questions, Gmail official Liquid Loud. Thank you.
All right, and we want you to stick around for the rest of the show, so
Okay.
pull up a seat and come on and join this great conversation. And so, what are your thoughts about designers being utilized to create labels?
I think that's something new. I have been seeing a couple of Patron, not the bottles, but the actual case that they come in,
Right.
and it's a little fancy. I'm like, okay, Patron, what's going on? I didn't even know that they were doing fashion designers, but I think it's a good thing, because some of the bottles get boring after a while.
Right. All right. So, Dion, what are your thoughts on bartender, entrepreneur? She's an entrepreneur like yourself. So, what do you think about this business right here as coming from another entrepreneur?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I say congratulations on your success. I think it's a wonderful product. I will definitely support. I love also supporting my sisters,
Thank you.
And so, but I think when you think about alcohol, well, cocktails, mixologists, they're artists in their own right. Art is the pulling together of taking things and recreating it, and turning it into something else that's beautiful, that's palatable, that's delicious. And so when I think about a good bartender, a great mixologist, I see them as an artist as well because they're creating artistry with the different, liquors and alcohols, getting it, mixing it with just the right fruit blend and just, and when it's good, it's good. And so, and people appreciate it.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. Thank you.
you're welcome.
So we are in the midst of our Causing a Stir segment. This is where we want to hear from you. So please go to Facebook and type your questions there. You go to Rolling Out's Facebook page, and we would like to hear, do alcohol give you more swag? Do alcohol give you more confidence? So be sure to chime in, tell us what you think, or ask any questions that you may have. So what are your thoughts on, have you ever seen the correlation between fashion designers being tapped to create bottles or the labels?
I can see that. Like I said, I'm starting to see when I go in the liquor store. I'm like, what? Is this the same? What's going on? But it's nice. It's a different change. I mean, because like I said, the bottles they're a little old fashioned,
Right.
and it's
It's
young
a new
folks.
day.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we run the world.
It's
so.
all about the eye appeal
Yeah.
to make you
Yeah.
buy it.
Exactly, because if I see something that looks pretty, I'm just gonna buy it just because it's pretty. I might
Right.
want to keep the bottle.
Exactly.
It's pretty.
So we talked about the adverse effects as well, as far as, have you seen as a bartender, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people being beat in not a good way from drinking too much alcohol.
Not being beat, but I've had situations where I had to step in and say, "Hey, you're not gonna talk to her like that." I'm that bartender that will check you on the spot, like,
Right.
no.
And when I say beat, not saying like physically, I'm speaking of, you know how they say beat and looking good. We're talking
With the
about looking
makeup.
bad.
Oh,
You know,
course.
whereas you could be a beautiful woman, but because you're not handling your alcohol properly, that it just makes you ugly, or your attitude changes with
Yeah.
alcohol, and your beauty is no longer beautiful because you become so nasty that it becomes ugly. So what's your thoughts on
I
that?
have seen it. I'm like, oh, this girl is nice. And she come in, we talk, I'm single. A couple drinks in, I see why you're single.
Right.
Like, I see it. Like, girl, get it together. Like,
Right.
please. But yeah, I mean, I see guys too. I mean, same thing. I saw this one guy, he was at the bar. He sat up there and literally FaceTime like 5 females. Yeah, I'm at the bar, I'm doing this, I'm smoking hookah. 5, like, I literally memorized his whole conversation. I'm like, God, like, do something with your life. Like, you sitting up here, you trying to flex on social media, whatever you were doing, but you don't have nothing to offer. You just up here smoking hookah, you drinking a cocktail, but what else is there to you? So
Right.
that's what I see. Like, you empty inside, basically. And
Wow.
you're using the alcohol to cover it up.
What's your thoughts on what she just stated?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see it. On the flip side, people that may be predisposition to addiction, or people who may be suffering from depression or, anything like that, alcohol is not a good thing because it intensifies that. And when you're under the influence, you don't really feel your best. It's just kind of like putting a Band-Aid, on a cut, for a second until it wears off. And then, you got to deal with life and reality.
Interesting. So once again, we're in our Causing a Stir segment and just going to give some shout outs to people that's watching. So Anthony Chappelle, he says, I used to live in ATL in the 90s, and I used to be up at Rolling Out magazine all the time. So thank you for watching, Anthony. We have Darnell Morgan. What's happening? He gives us a thumbs up. Dion Corley, thanks for watching. Ask us some questions, Dion. Christy Thomas, she says, Lena. Who's Lena?
That's me.
That's you? Okay. Oh, for short for Selena.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, what is she saying?
We go back since kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I told them it's my first time on the show. I put it on Facebook.
Okay, cool. Well, we thank you. Thank
Hey,
you.
girl.
So Dion Corley says, so true, people be flexing. And so we have Randy Fling, the VP of here at Rolling Out, says beautiful design is important for all packaged products. So let's talk about your design. So what inspired it? Where did it come from?
I mean, I saw this girl. A lot of people, they have like a. It's a nice design. I just wanted to pop out, so I went to actually a tattoo artist. And I said, "Can you design this for me? I want something dope. I want the glass. I want it splashing out. I want liquid light. I just want everything." And so he actually executed it, and it looks something like your shirt. But I told him, I said, "You know what? Take the stem off." When I went to the graphic design, I said, "Take the stem off because I don't want people to know it's alcohol."
Right. Okay. But you
so-
do non-alcohol as well.
I do. And with that, I actually started doing that, I think 2 years ago. We sell sweet tea and lemonade at my job. Nobody wanted to make the sweet tea or the lemonade, so I went. I sell it.
Right. Smart. And so, how
Yeah.
many flavors do you have of the alcohol versions?
I have 12 different flavors. I told my sister, who's my twin sister, I said, I want to be like High C, the alcoholic version, and you have all these different flavors. So that's what I went for.
Right. And so, your sister's a partner with you in this business
Yes,
as well.
yes, she is. That's Serena Shoemaker, my identical twin sister. She's not here tonight though.
So does alcohol give you confidence when you sip? Do you?
Actually, I do not drink. I know.
So you're a teetotaler.
Right.
Interesting.
But I made the drinks. But what happened was I tested so many people, and people didn't even know. I was at the bar, so that's my playing field. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this flavor. I'm gonna see how they like it. They say it's too sweet, it's too tart, this and that. I'll strain it out. Ask the next person. I ask my mom. Ask my dad. I ask everybody. I am not a fan of criticism. I don't care.
Right.
Tell me so I know to perfect what I need to perfect. So
Right.
that's how I ended up with 12 flavors. I started with the mango, and people said, well, won't you try this flavor? Won't you try this flavor? So for everybody out there, I'm done. 12 flavors is good. I'm not making any more. That's it. So, yeah.
So with your twin sister, does alcohol give
Oh,
her
yeah,
more confidence?
Yes.
She
She
becomes
has a
superwoman.
stressful job, so as soon as she get home, make me one of them drinks. I'm like, get a drink. She just go in the refrigerator now. I just made a big batch. She just go get her cocktail, and she have at a night. She's good. So
Right.
like when we go out, she just drink. We pregame. I'll be driving, and she pregame, and she is lit.
Right. So you're the perfect sister to have. Have
Right,
a designated
exactly.
driver
What?
everywhere you go and free liquor.
And you're identical, so have you had to show up for your sister?
I cannot. But at her job, they see me we both work in public areas, so they'll see her and they'll see me, and they're like, I saw you. And I'm like, no, that wasn't me. That was my sister. Even celebrities, because the place that I work at, Auto Spy Bistro, car wash bar, get your car washed, everything is nice, black on. But yeah, they come in there and they like, so you gonna act like you didn't know me? Like I really had people that had attitudes. I'm like, whatever you're doing to these people, I mean, it's affecting my tip. Like,
Right.
please, like, be nice.
Right.
So it's cool though. I like it.
Interesting. So as far as bottling, do you foresee any from this conversation to have any special design of future bottling with the
Actually,
sculpture and
I will consider it definitely, yes, because I want when they see
call
my
on
bottle,
Dion over
yes,
here.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
When I see the bottles, I'm already looking. Cause I'm at
Right.
the bar. I'm like, like I think X.O just came out with something, and I'm like, what is that? Oh, that's different. I just want people to say, what's that?
Right.
And then when they know it, they go, oh, that's Liquid Loud. That's I already know what it is. So
Right.
yeah, that's what I want to be at.
And so you don't give your recipe. That's one of the questions people have here is, do you give your recipe out?
No. Would you? No.
And so we have Dion Corley here, and he asked, I do believe alcohol gives people confidence until you have had too much. People become arrogant. So what's your thoughts on what Dion just said, Dion? Oh, both
Yeah,
Dion and
because
Dion.
right. Yeah, no, that's definitely true because some people, they start really feeling themselves, and the alcohol, it blocks your judgment, you know what I mean, and it doesn't allow you to really stay in reality. So your ego, becomes bigger, and then therefore you think that you can do a lot more than you really can,
Right.
So a lot of times people who have had too much, they lose judgment not only of the situation in front of them, but within themselves,
Right. So we have Nisi Poo Dean. She says, "Congrats, Lena. Liquid Loud is the
Yes,
bomb.com."
that is another friend from where we going? Middle school. Yeah. What was he? We from Atlanta, so a lot of people they tuning in. Thanks, guys. I'm excited.
Excellent. So keep the questions coming because we are still in the midst of our Cause in the Store segment. And remember, 100 Proof is the show that gives you the do's and don'ts about alcohol, the written and the unwritten rules of alcohol, so that you can navigate through different social settings and knowing how alcohol may or may not impact you. So we're not necessarily trying to promote it. We're not trying to demote it. We just want to give you fact-based information so that you can choose and decipher of how you want to use alcohol. As always, we promote responsibility and for you to do it maturely. 85% of Americans are having at least one drink a week. So why not talk about it? Why not have conversations around it versus thinking that it's taboo? Sometimes we treat alcohol as if it's like sex. We don't talk about it. But if we're doing it, and it's not illegal, why not have a conversation about it? And so that's what 100 Proof is all about, is to make people comfortable with the conversation and knowing how alcohol impacts various different categories, whether it's church, whether it's fitness, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's fashion. We discuss it here on the show. So keep tuning in every Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on Rolling Out, our new home for the show. So what's your final thoughts of this conversation that you want people to take away from this?
I just want them to take away that alcohol, it's not a good or bad thing. It's a personal choice. If you choose to indulge, definitely use it responsibly. If you don't indulge, that's great too. As it applies to fashion, creativity, you can be fly and fierce without it, but you can also be fabulous and you can enjoy and partake in the celebrations with it, using it responsibly once again.
Absolutely. I love that. And we have another question for you, and this is for you, Selena. Dion Corley, once again, he says, what is your favorite flavor? What is going to be your best seller? What is your best seller? So what's your favorite flavor? And you probably can't answer that because you don't drink.
I've had to taste them. My favorite flavor is the Whoppin' Melon. It's really good. Tastes like a Jolly Rancher with a kick. It's really good.
Jolly Rancher.
This kiwi is delicious, though. I just have to say again, like I really, the kiwi, it's kind of an acquired taste. Some people don't like it. I really do like it, but this is very delicious.
Yeah, kiwi often can be very tart.
Right,
so
yeah.
It's not, the drink isn't so tart. So the second part of Dion's question is, what is going to be your best seller? Or what is your best seller?
It's so hard. I've tried to place my best sellers, but different people like different things. So I can tell you the top few is mango, of course, kiwi. I have a passion fruit that a lot of people like. I also have a berry blast that a lot of the dark drinkers, they love that. So I think those four, and the Whoppin' Melon. Can't forget that, sorry. So what is that, 5? Yeah, they're all pretty good. You have to taste some, Dion. Link up. 678-661-WILD. Just call me.
And so, Selena, what are your final thoughts? What do you want people to take from this conversation about cocktails and beauty tonight?
Just be mindful when you go into the bar. The bartender is watching you at all times. So be respectful. Be respectful of the people around you. Please do drink responsibly. And just enjoy it. I mean, everybody likes a good cocktail here and there. Just enjoy it and be respectful when doing so.
So, Dion, where can people find, and we're still going to go into your store in one of our future segments, but we're not going to talk about it just yet.
Okay.
But tell people where they can find you at.
Well, they can find me on my designer page on IG is at Dio Artwear. That's DIOARTWEAR. And they can also find me at the store at Zana Artistic Retail. at Zinah, Zinah, Artistic Retail.
All right. And where can people find you?
Oh, again, at Shop Liquid Loud on Facebook and Instagram. Also, you can visit our store, shopliquidloud.ecwit.com. We have a website coming, Shop Liquid Loud. Also, you can email me at officialliquidloud, and you can call or text me at 678-661 LOUD loud. Thank you.
And for you all, we want to always encourage you to be sure to follow us at Cocktail Cron, the number one, and follow us and share all of our stories on your social media pages because this is information that people need to know. Next week, our topic is going to be cocktails and authors. Do you all think authors sip to
Oh, yeah.
unblock writer's block?
Well, yeah, Maya Angelou, she said that she used to have a glass of a dark liquor, you know.
Really? I didn't know that.
She would go when she would write her book, she would lock herself away and have a glass.
See, it all works. So you think, Selena, you think authors drink?
I think everybody drink. Everybody.
Except for you.
Sometimes. I have to taste it. I have to. But yeah, everybody drinks.
So make sure you all tune in next week for Cocktails and Authors. So it's going to be a very interesting conversation. We have some great authors lined up for you all. And we're still in the causing and third segment. So there's still a couple minutes left if you all have more questions for anyone here or your thoughts on, do you become more confident? I'm trying to think, do I become more confident when I drink? I think people probably would say I do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been around
Yeah.
you drinking, but you're always just fun loving and just cool and
Right.
chill and laid back.
See,
and,
I'm
you
more
know.
quiet and laid back, but the drinking.
Yeah, you're
and
definitely more
I'm
talkative.
more talkative when I'm under the influence. Otherwise, I'm very quiet, very reserved, very conservative. Whereas oftentimes people push drinks in my hand so I can loosen up and have fun because then I can become the life of the party.
I believe it.
They were like, oh, maybe I'm bipolar or something. I don't know. Does that make you bipolar?
I don't think so.
But yeah, I think it probably gives me some level of confidence because it makes me feel more comfortable talking to people. So that would be confidence, right? So I think one of the things I want people to take away from this is just be cognizant of how you become when you are under the influence.
Right.
As far as the attitude, I think someone on
Yeah.
Facebook already said people become more arrogant. So you want to be able to just tune it down because what will happen is that people don't necessarily want to be around you because you get that big head.
Right.
Or you think you're so beautiful and maybe you just talk about yourself.
Right.
Because I've seen that with women in particular. Oh, I'm so beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful.
Speak your mind.
Right.
Right, yeah. And some get the confidence where they speak their mind. They're going to tell you everything wrong about you.
Right. Yeah.
So you all just have to be conscious of how your confidence comes out when you drink. So it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but you just have to be cognizant of it. But as always, we encourage you to drink responsibly, which we're getting ready to go into our PSA announcement that we have for you every single week. So be sure to listen in and hear what we have to say. Here we go.
When it comes to an informative, educational, enlightening, and entertaining conversation about alcohol, ranging from pairings to safely enjoying alcohol to safe travels getting home, there's only one show you want to listen to. Make sure to tune in to 100 Proof, compliments of cocktail conversations, as well as Rolling Out Magazine. Make sure to catch it on the Rolling Out Magazine Facebook Live and YouTube platforms. Again, we want you to be informed, educated, enlightened, entertained, and most important, keep it 100 proof. The 100 Proof Show, compliments of Cocktail Chronicles, hosted by Rolling Out Magazine. Take care.
All right, there it is. That's our PSA announcement that we give you all each and every week. And so we are in the midst of our On Fire segment. This is where we tell you what's crack-a-lacking around the world as it relates to the beverage industry. And as you all may have heard, Starbucks closed today for unconscious bias training. Dion, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think that's enough?
I think honestly, personally, it's too little, too late. It is what it is, and it's just all ridiculous. It's absolutely ludicrous. If you have a business and you have patrons that come into your business for whatever reason, anyone that walks through your doors is a potential customer, and you are supposed to treat them with respect and dignity and the utmost customer service. And they did not receive that. So as a company, that was a direct violation. That's even before we get to the civil rights aspect of it, of being two young black men,
All right. So will you continue sipping at Starbucks?
Well, honestly, I never did really sip at Starbucks. For me personally, I support independent-owned businesses, and my homegirl got a tea spot and they serve coffee. You know what I mean? And so therefore, I tend personally, that is my choice. I don't really do. It's just it's not enough people of color that own Starbucks for me to support personally.
All right,
so.
I love it. The producers back there clapping for you. She preached in here. And so, what's your thoughts on the training? Is that enough?
I feel the same way. Like, she took the words right out of my mouth, and then I think we're trying to call common.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he's part of their training somehow, some way.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's another thing that's happening in the beverage world. Coca-Cola is launching the first alcoholic drink in its history with a canned liquor product in Japan. Japan is a fiercely competitive market. So what are your thoughts on Coca-Cola entering the liquor business? Because it's going to be coming to the United States very soon.
Of course. I read that same I read it, and I was like, okay, Coca-Cola is already a brand to be reckoned with anyway. So, I mean, if they're going to take on alcohol, I don't see why not. Now, how it tastes is the thing, but, I mean, alcohol is a big business. It is.
Will you be buying Coca-Cola infused alcohol?
Probably not. I just feel like certain brands should stick with what they should stick with, what they're known for. When I think I'm also a mother and I have children, so it would be interesting to see what the marketing campaign is going to look like for that. So for me, I'm not really sure.
Interesting, very interesting point. We are in the midst of our hotspot segment, and this is where we tell you what's popping around the city and where you need to be and where you should go. And so, of course, we are going to talk about Dion's new store that's opening up next month.
Yeah, well, actually, we have our grand opening. Ribbon cutting will be taking place the weekend of Father's Day in June. It is actually a boutique-style gallery where we highlight and showcase the works of independent visual artists, fashion designers, overall artisans. We have a milliner by the name of Otis Damon. We have Bella Duafe, designer, my line as well, Dio Original Wearable Art. We have Love 22 and several other designers that are coming, just to highlight that artistry, that one-of-a-kind, unique things. Also, we offer the option of getting things customized, so if you want to get something created, you can come in, we can sit down and sketch it out. If you have old things in your closet, you can bring it all in, let's cut it up, add some zippers and buttons, and make it new again, So Zana Artistic Retail is where you come for one-of-a-kind, original fashion, art, and home decor.
Okay, interesting. And so where's the store going to be located?
We're located at 1531 Ralph David Abernathy in historic Westview in Southwest Atlanta, right behind the new Southwest Beltline.
Okay.
And so we are ready to go. As a matter of fact, we have a current artist opening taking place this coming Friday, June 1st at 7 p.m. Our current artist we have on exhibit is Ashley D. Thomas. She's a local artist around Atlanta. She has several murals around the city. And she'll be having her first opening reception this coming Friday.
Interesting. So What inspired you to go from designing personally to brick and mortar?
Well, for me, it was just, I know just too many dope artists. You know, all of my friends, all of my associates, it's just so much artistry within the city. You don't have to go to New York to find great art. You don't have to go to LA. You know, there are tons of dope artists who I feel here in the city are just underexposed.
Right.
You know, you have artists who are, you know, have teachers, you know, who are teachers by day, but dope artists that, you know, and they're, you know, and they just need a place to showcase. And so my love of also not just fashion design, but I'm, you know, I'm an artist. I have a love of interior design as well. And so I'm also a professional organizer. So I offer that service as well. But in any case, you know, I just wanted to create a beautiful canvas, a backdrop to showcase not only my work, but all the other dope artists' work that I have.
Interesting. Will your husband be modeling for you?
Probably.
You all don't know that she's married to a big-time model. Used to be my competition back in the day. So I guess I can already imagine I won't be getting a modeling job with you.
That's not true. It's always space for
Dion
you
gonna
on
hit
that
me
runway.
over with a skate. I said Dion gonna hit me with a skate. Ali's gonna hit me with a skate if I can get me a job.
No.
So we are in the midst of our international sip segment. This is our last segment of the hour, and so this is where we focus and take it back to you, Selena. So tell us about your drinks again, where people can find them, or any last words that you want people to know about you and your products.
Okay, well, I also do small events, so around the city when I can. You can find me at those particular events. You can follow me on Shop Liquid Loud. I always post where I'm going to be at any particular time selling my drinks. ShopLiquidLoud.equit.com. That is our online store at the moment, and we're coming up with the website Shop Liquid Loud. You have any questions, concerns, anything, just call me 678-661-LOUD. I'm Selena. I'm the owner and operator.
All right, and so what if people wanted to purchase? They can't go to the store. They have to go online and get it, right? Mm-hmm. So y'all two definitely need to connect. Mm-hmm. Since she do events, you're gonna be doing events.
Absolutely.
So y'all may have to switch information. But as always, I want to thank each and every one of you all for tuning in. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rolling Out's Facebook page. We want to encourage you to share each and every one of these episodes so that people can learn to drink responsibly. Be sure to follow us at Cocktail Cron, the number 1. Cron is short for Chronicles. That's CHRON. Cocktail Cron, the number 1. And remember, our next show is going to be about cocktails and authors. Is alcohol the key to unblocking writer's block? Hashtag tipsy author. So as always, we keep it 100 on 100 Proof, your leading source for beverage industry news. And the music that you've heard here tonight is by C1 Music. So hopefully you all enjoy the music as we enjoy it, as we take it out.